The difference between the impossible and the possible lies in a man's determination. It's just a job. Grass grows, birds fly, waves pound the sand. I beat people up. It's just a job. Grass grows, birds fly, waves pound the sand. I beat people up. When my time on earth is gone, and my activities here are past, I want them to bury me upside down, and my critics can kiss my ass. Don't measure yourself by what you have accomplished, but by what you should have accomplished with your ability. Never give up. Failure and rejection are only the first step to succeeding. Show me a guy who's afraid to look bad, and I'll show you a guy you can beat every time. Sportsmanship for me is when a guy walks off the court and you really can't tell whether he won or lost. When he carries himself with pride either way. Excellence is not a singular act but a habit. You are what you do repeatedly. A champion is someone who gets up when he can't. I can't play being mad. I go out there and have fun. It's a game, and that's how I am going to treat it. It's not the will to win that matters. Everyone has that. It's the will to prepare to win that matters. Most people run a race to see who is fastest. I run a race to see who has the most guts. Most people run a race to see who is fastest. I run a race to see who has the most guts. It's not the disability that defines you. It's how you deal with the challenges the disability presents you with. We have an obligation to the abilities we do have, not the disability. Do you know what my favorite part of the game is? The opportunity to play. I've worked too hard and too long to let anything stand in the way of my goals. I will not let my teammates down, and I will not let myself down. The time when there is no one there to feel sorry for you or to cheer for you is when a player is made. Persistence can change failure into extraordinary achievement. I always tell kids, you have two eyes and one mouth. Keep two open and one closed. You never learn anything if you're the one talking. Sports creates a bond between contemporaries that lasts a lifetime and also gives your life structure, discipline, and a genuine, sincere, pure fulfillment that few other areas of endeavor provide. Competitive sports are played mainly on a 5.5-inch court, the space between your ears. Every kid around the world who plays soccer wants to be Pele. I have a great responsibility to show them not just how to be like a soccer player, but how to be like a man. Treat a person as he is, and he will remain as he is. Treat him as he could be, and he will become what he should be. Never give up, never give in, and when the upper hand is ours, may we have the ability to handle the win with the dignity that we absorb the loss. Pain is temporary. It may last a minute, or an hour, or a day, or a year, but eventually it will subside and something else will take its place. If I quit, however, it lasts forever. Baseball is 90% mental. The other half is physical. It ain't over till it's over. When you come to a fork in the road, take it. You have to be able to center yourself, to let all of your emotions go. Don't ever forget that you play with your soul as well as your body. The Russians have a weapon that can wipe out 280,000 Americans. That puts them exactly 10 years behind Howard Cosell. Doctors and scientists said that breaking the 4-minute mile was impossible, that one would die in the attempt. Thus, when I got up from the track, after collapsing at the finish line, I figured I was dead. My dad has always taught me these words: care and share. That's why we put on clinics. The only thing I can do is try to give back. If it works, it works. Some people believe football is a matter of life and death. I'm very disappointed with that attitude. I can assure you it is much, much more important than that. The way a team plays as a whole determines its success. You may have the greatest bunch of individual stars in the world, but if they don't play together, the club won't be worth a dime. It's not the size of the dog in the fight, but the size of the fight in the dog. You need to play with supreme confidence, or else you'll lose again, and then losing becomes a habit. There are only two options regarding commitment. You're either in or you're out. There is no such thing as life in between. There are only two options regarding commitment. You're either in or you're out. There is no such thing as life in between. You have to have the mentality of executing your game when you don't feel like there's a lot of hope. I think the best feeling is when somebody pushes you to the limit and you dig down a little bit extra. By the same token, you also need a little luck. Sometimes they come together. Golf and sex are the only things you can enjoy without being good at them. Ask not what your teammates can do for you. Ask what you can do for your teammates. Leadership is a matter of having. People look at you and gain confidence, seeing how you react. If you're in control, they're in control. Football doesn't build character, it reveals character. The difference between the old ball player and the new ball player is the jersey. The old ball player cared about the name on the front. The new ball player cares about the name on the back. The fewer rules a coach has, the fewer rules there are for players to break. An athlete cannot run with money in his pockets. He must run with hope in his heart and dreams in his head. When you get that nice celebration coming into the dugout, and you're getting your ass hammered by guys, there's no better feeling than to have that done. I feel like I'm the best, but you're not going to get me to say that. We can't win at home. We can't win on the road. As general manager, I just can't figure out where else to play. I quit school in the 6th grade because of pneumonia. Not because I had it, but because I couldn't spell it. I quit school in the 6th grade because of pneumonia. Not because I had it, but because I couldn't spell it. The Bible never says anything about dinosaurs. You can't say there were dinosaurs when you never saw them. Somebody actually saw Adam and Eve. No one ever saw a Tyrannosaurus Rex. The sun has been there for 500, 600 years. Booze, broads, and bullshit. If you got all that, what else do you need? Chemistry is a class you take in high school or college, where you figure out 2 + 2 is 10 or something. If a tie is like kissing your sister, losing is like kissing your grandmother with her teeth out. Most football players are temperamental. That's 90% temper and 10% mental. Basketball is like war in that offensive weapons are developed first, and it always takes a while for the defense to catch up. Clothes don't count in baseball. Clothes only counts in horseshoes and grenades. It took me 17 years to get 3,000 hits. In baseball, I did it in one afternoon on the golf course. I don't have to wait for nobody. I move when I want to move. The time when there is no one there to feel sorry for you or to cheer for you is when a player is made. I think self-awareness is probably the most important thing towards being a champion. You can't always control circumstances. However, you can always control your attitude, approach, and response. Your options are to complain, or to look ahead and figure out how to make the situation better. Excellence is not a singular act but a habit. You are what you do repeatedly. Moment of victory is much too short to live for that, and nothing else. If you can believe it, the mind can achieve it. If you can believe it, the mind can achieve it. I figure practice puts your brains in your muscles. When I first came on tour, I was playing for money. Now I'm playing to win golf tournaments, and the money is more than I ever dreamed I could make. When the mind is controlled and spirit aligned with purpose, the body is capable of so much more than we realize. When the mind is controlled and spirit aligned with purpose, the body is capable of so much more than we realize.